Tetris 99 for Nintendo Switch, released in February 2019 courtesy of Nintendo and the Tetris Company, is a multiplayer-focused iteration of the perennial puzzle game, whose main gimmick is the online mode where you play against 98 other online opponents, and your goal is to outlast all these other players that you can knock out by sending garbage blocks their way before they do the same to you. And that's the main meat of the game. You of course have other modes of play such as a team co-op mode, a similar versus mode against computer opponents, and the usual marathon mode for that solo experience. But Tetris 99 is all about that multiplayer, and to its credit, as of July 2020 at least, people still play this, and that's a positive for a game that is heavily reliant on an online component, so much so that if you were to buy the physical release, it comes with a code that could be redeemed for a year's subscription to the Nintendo Switch Online service, which is probably the only thing you're paying for, seeing how the digital version is available for free, but I digress. Tetris 99. Well, if you played a Tetris game in some form or fashion on a console or computer in the past couple of decades, then this is pretty much old hat since they all play pretty much the same way by design. You clear lines of blocks away, you have a speedy soft drop and a more secure hard drop, ghost piece previews, the ability to hold a piece and swap them as needed. Basically the modern Tetris formula that has seen little to no change since the late 90s, early 2000s. As expected for a game of this ilk, control is fairly top notch in terms of the core play, responsive, straightforward, standard fare, not much to say there. The only real additions to the controls relates to the multiplayer mode, where you use the analog sticks to determine your attack strategies, as well as pick out targets for you to send garbage blocks to. They work about as well as you expect. A bit of a nuisance, but whatever. They work, I guess. Not much else I could add to that point. The overall presentation is the usual Tetris fare, some basic backdrops with shifting shapes and colors for variety, clean looking blocks and displays, lots of flashing lights for the multiplayer component. By completing daily missions you can earn tickets to unlock different themes, which admittedly I've yet to do because I don't play this game often enough to earn that many daily tickets, so my wanting to get this Game Boy themed theme is going to take a while. Maybe with the different visual themes, there are also different music to go along with, because the one stock music track that plays here, a techno Europop type remix of the folk song that they appropriated as the Tetris theme and has been in use in some form or fashion since the very first Tetris game to grace the Nintendo family computer back in 1988. Yeah, that's fine and all, but remember when you had different musical choices you could switch to in older Tetris games? I know some folks don't care, but some do, and being stuck with the one track for every play session every day, well, at least the sound effects are fine, I suppose. So the core bits of Tetris 99 is solid, it works well, and that's all well and good, but the main draw of this game is the online component against these 98 people you're playing, and so far that seems to be operating just fine. Took less than a minute to start a random game and then all hell breaks loose as you attempt to outlast the rest and pray you're not the recipient of garbage 6 sides over. It's a fun little test of your Tetris prowess if nothing else, and if the competition seems a bit too tense, you could always practice against a computer in similar conditions, which is much appreciated. But yeah, that's Tetris 99, a largely multiplayer focused but otherwise solid edition of Tetris for Nintendo Switch. The digital version's free from what I can tell, but requires a subscription for the online stuff, while the physical version is a free cart that comes with a subscription that you pay for, so make of that what you will. Either way, it's a fun game, a fun take on Tetris, and sure, why not?